It being 5 o'clock, the Lafourche Parish Council meeting of March 13, 2017 is hereby called to order. Ms. Carleen, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Mr. Jones. Ms. Sposito. Mr. Grow. Mr. Melvin. Mr. Bourgeois.
Here.
Mr. Perilou.
Here.
Mr. Otain. Mr. Lafont. Mr. Lorraine. And Mr. Cantrell.
All right, if you please rise, the invocation will be delivered by Mr. Daniel Lorraine and the pledge led by Michael Grow. Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, Section A, approval of minutes. Item number 1, motion to accept the minutes of the February 2nd, 2017 special session deferred from 2/14/17. Moved by Mr. Lafont. Second by Mr. Jones.
I have a change.
You have a change to that motion?
No. I have a change to the minutes.
Okay. You want to?
Yeah, on page 7, up at the top, it says he was elected, and if we put someone variable, I said viable, capable of working successfully. So if you want to just change that from variable to viable. Right here, page 7, and about the 5th sentence. You can make that change, I appreciate it. Viable, V-I-A-B.
Duly noted. All in favor? Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 2, motion to accept the minutes of the February 14, 2017 regular session. Moved by Mr. Lafont, second by Mr. Jones. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor? Any opposed? Pass 9-0. Section B, proclamation. Ms. Carleen will now read for item number 3, proclamation honoring Mr. Irvin Vin Bruce and declaring April 25th of every year as Vin Bruce Day.
Proclamation, Parish of Lafourche, whereas requested on behalf of Council Chairman Corey Perilou, the Lafourche Parish Council wishes to honor Mr. Irvin Vin Bruce and declare April 25th of every year as Vin Bruce Day. Whereas born in Cutoff, Louisiana on April 25th, 1932, Cajun singer Vin Bruce grew up in a musical environment provided by his father, whose fiddle playing for local Cajun dances, usually held in someone's front room, influenced Vince at an early age to take up the guitar and write music. Whereas in October 1951, Vin signed a recording contract with Columbia Records in Nashville, Tennessee, and recorded all-time popular Cajun songs such as Danse la Louisiane, Fille de la Ville, and Claire de Lune, recording with Nashville professional musicians such as Chet Atkins, Grady Martin, Tommy Jackson, Owen Bradley, and Shook Jackson. Vin continued to play with his band throughout the 1960s, 70s, and 80s, and signed a contract with Swallow Records and had a hit single with Jolie Blonde. Vin was one of the first Cajun musicians to appear on the Louisiana Hayride and the Grand Ole Opry. Whereas for his contribution and performance in Cajun music, Vin is known as the King of Cajun Singers, and in 1973 was honored in Lafourche Parish with Vin Bruce Day, was chosen as Lafourche Parish's Citizen of the Year, and has been inducted into the Nashville Music Hall of Fame, the CFMA Cajun Music Hall of Fame, the Louisiana Hall of Fame Living Legends, and the West Bank Musicians Hall of Fame. Therefore, be it resolved by the Lafourche Parish Council, convened in regular session on March 14, 2017, that the council wishes to honor Mr. Irvin Vin Bruce and declare April 25th of every year as Vin Bruce Day. On behalf of the Lafourche Parish Council, I, Corey Perilou, do hereby set my signature and have caused to be affixed the official seal of the Lafourche Parish Council, State of Louisiana, this 14th day of March 2017, Matthews, Louisiana.
Mr. Vin is ill, so he was going to try to be here today, but he couldn't make it. He has some health issues, so congratulations to him. He deserves it. Before we move any further to the next item, I want to welcome Mr. David Cavell. He is the district director for Congressman Garrett Graves' office. David, you want to stand up and let everybody know who you are, sir? Thank you for being here. All right, moving right along to item number 4, the Parish President James Cantrell to present a proclamation proclaiming Thursday, March 16, 2017 as Retired Teachers Day.
Do we have anyone here from the Retired Teachers Association to accept this proclamation?
We sure do.
All right,
My 8th
great.
grade civics teacher is here.
Wonderful.
Miss Beth Plaisance. So welcome, ma'am.
Perfect. Whereas the Parish of Lafourche is committed to valuing all individuals and organizations and recognizing ongoing achievements in our local communities, and whereas teachers both past and present serve our most precious children with time, patience, and talent by educating them with life lessons that pave the way for bright futures. Whereas Governor John Bel Edwards proclaimed Thursday, March 16, 2017 as Retired Teachers Day in Louisiana, and whereas the Lafourche Parish government would also like to honor all teachers that are members of the Retired Teachers Association by declaring Thursday, March 16, 2017 as Retired Teachers Day in Lafourche Parish. Now therefore I, James B. Cantrell, President of the Parish of Lafourche, State of Louisiana, on behalf of Lafourche Parish, do hereby honor the Retired Teachers Association.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Don't worry, you're still one of my favorite teachers. Ms. Plaisance, why don't you step up to the mic if you want to speak so everyone can hear you? Is it on? Can we get somebody to assist her?
I got it. Technology was beyond me, I'm sorry. A little switch.
It's a little switch at the top.
Just talk into it, try.
Is it on? Yes. I want to thank all of you for this. As a retired teacher, as a teacher, we don't get recognition, we don't get awards, we don't get plaques, we don't get days of joy and happiness until we retire. And then we run into students, former students, and we see them, and we see what they have done with their lives. And that's our reward. Not just Corey, but I'm looking around here, I'm sure all of you have somebody in your life who was an important person, some teacher that you can think back. Lucy, I believe it might have been Ms. Jackson at Central Lafourche. I remember her telling stories about you when you were elected here. And we all have, Orman, I think you went through Racer Junior High too. I don't know if you were in my class, but.
I think so, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. You see, I taught 5,000 kids, so it's kind of hard to remember. But I do think if you think about it, there is someone, some teacher, living or dead, who did leave an impression on you. You might not know what they taught. You might not remember a specific lesson, but you do remember that teacher. You do remember that class. And that's what we hope as retired teachers we can do. Leave a mark, just a little one. Not the ones on your knees that we put you in a corner for, but the ones that we put in your heart. So thank you all for this proclamation. It means a lot to us. And when you see us at Walmart or at Rouse's or anywhere, just stop and say thanks. Say hi, because that means a lot to us. Because to see successful students really, really makes us happy. So thank you very much for this, and I'm going to leave now and let y'all do your thing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Great to see you. Okay, and moving on to Section C, presentations and updates. President James B. Cantrell to present an Employee of the Month Award and WOW Award for the month of February.
Is Miss Christina here? She can come up. Christina is our Employee of the Month, Miss Christina Dufresne. Christina has been with the Head Start program for over 2 years. She's a teacher, too, for Head Start in South Lafourche. Here are some comments that were submitted with her 3 nominations. I nominate Miss Christina for her ability to step up and lead her classroom while waiting for her new Teacher 1 to finish her hiring process. She is strong and a fun teacher, and the children just love her. She does all this while obtaining her CDA credential and being a mother to 3 beautiful daughters. I believe she has the dedication and drive to become a Teacher 1. I'm nominating Christina for the Employee of the Month because she is warm, caring, and dedicated. She goes above and beyond her call of duty to complete job requirements. She's worked willingly to fill in the gap of fulfilling a Teacher 1 duty. Ms. Christina is one of the hardest working people I know. She's always kind to staff and parents. She's great to work with and is always up for a challenge. Our Head Start program is very blessed to have her as an employee. Congratulations. And we also have a wonderful, outstanding recipient for February, Miss Ethel Gray. Is Miss Ethel here? Okay, no problem. Well, let me just read a few comments about Miss Ethel. Miss Ethel shows warm and considerate feelings towards her coworkers. She has shown her commitment towards Head Start by going above and beyond her normal job duties. She will always help out in any area that is needed without asking why. She will stay late if it means getting the job done or arrive early to assist with another classroom if asked. She has been a dedicated employee for Head Start for 9 years. Congratulations, Miss Ethel Gray. We hope you feel better.
All right, moving along, Section D, executive session. Motion moved by Mr. Lafont, second by Ms. Esposito. We're going to go into executive session. Mr. Josh Cockfield, Carrie Babin, the council, the parish president. Mr. Jimmy, anyone else need to be in there? That's it? All right, folks, we'll be back shortly. Oh, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? 9-0, executive session. Right. Workman's compensation claim number LOCA 6487. We need a motion. Right, but I need to read this part. We need a motion to reconvene. Anyone? Motion. All right, moved by Mr. Jones, second by Mr. Melvin. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And now we need a motion to take any necessary action. Mr. Bourgeois, and second by Mr. Jones. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Now on to Section E, action from executive session. Resolution authorizing Lafourche Parish Council to approve settlement of parish workers' compensation claim LOCA 6487 for $65,000 on behalf of Lafourche Parish government and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer any and all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Jones, second by Mr. Bourgeois. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. All right, Section F, engineer architect's report. Any? State your name and address for the record, sir.
Good evening, John Plaisance, J. Wayne Plaisance, Inc., 131 East 91st Street in Cutoff. The only project I have to report on y'all is the skate park in Golden Meadow. Happy to report it's finished, it's open. The dedication will be held Monday, I believe at 5 o'clock. I think y'all have all been invited. I assume the public's invited as well, but I know y'all got invitations. And I had some pictures up, but I guess the system's not working tonight.
Yes.
Should have been mailed to you.
From the town of Golden
from the
Meadow.
town. Monday at 5 o'clock.
Any questions?
Okay, thank you all very much.
Thank you, sir. Any more engineers, architects? All right, moving right along, Section G, Parish President, Department Heads, Directors, or Managers' reports, presentations, and our updates. Item number 8 is deferred to next meeting because of the projection. Mr. Barnes, do you plan on proceeding tonight with yours? Next meeting? Okay, defer number 9. And Ms. Estes, are you presenting tonight?
Sure, I'll present.
Okay, floor is yours.
Great. So to the audience, I do want to apologize about the monitor and projector and screen. This is more of a visual presentation, but because it involves a lot of updates to services for the public use, I just wanted to go ahead and just give some updates where I can. So I provided the council members with 3 slides, one being the current website that Lafourche Parish government has, the second being the St. Charles Parish website, and the third being a preview of our up-and-coming redesign and relaunch of the parish website. So to start the presentation, I just want to acknowledge the purpose of the website redesign. This is a project that was started by the Communications Department about 2 months ago. And one of the reasons that we discussed redesigning the website was to give customer service to the public 24/7. I know recently there was a discussion that took place at the council meeting involving, office hours and days open. If you have a website that is adaptable to all devices as well as customer friendly from a user standpoint, you can pretty much service your public virtually without needing the offices to be open. So we want to be able to offer as many services as possible on the website that can be done at the convenience of either your laptop, your cell phone, or at home. So the goals of the rebranding of the website are going to be simplicity. We'll want some intuitive navigation, plus we'll add some smart search to the website. We also have done a 2017 audit of the entire Lafourche Parish government website. There were bits and pieces of information on every single tab, including the subcategories that were outdated. So we want to make sure that all the information that we provide to the public is current and accurate. So there's going to be an ongoing content cleanup process to go through and continue to simplify that information. We're also going to go ahead and add what we discussed prior to this meeting with the parish president's address, a transparency button. So there will be the ability at the top of the page, to the top right of the home page, for all residents to be able to see data such as current revenue, expenses, royalty, tax information, and the latest DPW project reports. We'll also have an interactive format where we'll be able to get feedback. You'll be able to submit applications online, of which some you already can. And we'll also encourage e-subscriptions. So at this point, I want the council members, if you can, to just look at the first page that you have, which is our current website. You'll notice a couple of different things. There's a lot of themes. There's a lot of images. There's some icons there, but not a whole lot of information there that leads you to do something, to perform a particular action, which is really the reason you go to a website, is to accomplish something. So if you look at your second page and you go to St. Charles Parish's page, you'll notice icons at the bottom of the page that'll lead you to a specific action. You'll also notice a clean look, especially with the color scheme and the images, and a minimal list of tabs at the top of the page as well as the bottom of the page. So we're going to do a few marketing campaigns. This will be launched at the end of March. So the entire redesign will be revealed to the public at the end of March. but we'll launch a few campaigns to encourage people to apply for things from their iPhone. It'll be mobile friendly and, like I said, device adaptable. We also want to know how we're doing, so we'll encourage people to take our surveys and tell us how we're doing. We'll gather that data. We'll use that information to go ahead and maybe restructure a few things depending on the feedback that we get. We also want to encourage people to explore all the resources and the services that we have and take advantage of the online services offered. I do want to give an example of the types of services that we'll offer. Community Action recently came to us wanting a virtual resource page, also wanting a volunteer program. So we'll be able to go ahead and put the information that they house in their offices, that they mentioned they see about 4,000 people a year. We'll be able to put that information there, and they'll be able to go in and with one click, get the contacts and the resources that they need so that they can go ahead and move forward with the program that supports their needs. We also want to encourage volunteers. We do get a lot of volunteers for our animal shelter, so we want to promote volunteering for programs that Lafourche Parish offers. So we'll highlight that as well. Back to the transparency update, there will be a button, and if the council members look to the top right, you see a little magnifying glass with citizen transparency located up there. When that button is uploaded with the data from our current operating system, as well as additional reporting information that we'll more than likely get from the assessor's office and the Lafourche Parish School Board, we can incorporate things in there from them as well. You'll be able to see departmental revenue, expenses, overtime, trending reports, and projections year to date. So this type of information will not be a special request or an as-needed basis. This will be available to everyone at all times to be able to go in and view our financials. So again, we want all of this to be with one click. If you have to come to the website and you have to search, and the search gives you a bunch of links, and then you have to click the links, and then the links take you to another page, and then you have to click 3 more times to get to the information you need. We're not servicing you at the level that we're capable of servicing you. So what we want to do is create buttons, one-click buttons that'll go on the home page, and if you look towards the bottom of the home page, you'll notice it's very clean. It is 12 call to action points. So the first one, apply for a permit. Second one, apply for a license, submit a bid, volunteer, visit Lafourche. That Visit Lafourche tab will go straight to our tourism website, show the current video montage that they put together, do a little branding there, take you to the resources you need. Obviously, emergency information. We want people to have access to our home rule charter, codes of ordinances. Contact your council members with one click. News and information, financials, and again, interact with us on social media. So I just wanted to introduce this to all of you tonight because this has been a collaborative effort. I want to thank 3 people that have done a tremendous amount of work. We priced out this project. It came in at a quote of about $20,000 to $30,000 to accomplish this. And with myself, Ms. Jenny Baudouin, Mr. Kerry Thibodeau, and Ms. Gretchen Falls, we were able to accomplish this project for about $2,000. So, like I said, it's a work in progress. Will be launched and revealed at the end of March, but just wanted to do a quick preview. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving on to Section H, questions for the administration, Session 1. Anyone? Ms. Esposito.
Is there any news on the Waverly Road project? Is that being designed, Mr. Barnes, or what's underway with that?
Working with Dustin, with T. Baker Smith. Should be on the agenda pretty soon for the engineering contract to get it engineered on Waverly Road.
All right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Melvin.
Yes, I was told this week that there were some more car break-ins at the Terrio boat launch. I know we have money in the budget for cameras. Some constituents were very concerned because, as you know, if somebody who lives near there witnesses somebody breaking into a car, it could get ugly, if you know what I'm saying. And granted, they won't be robbing anybody again if they get shot, but my point is there ever going to be any cameras at this particular launch? Because it's hit or miss, and a lot of people go there to recreate the frog at night, to have camps back there. Y'all aware of anything?
We've got a bid process going out right now.
Name and address, please, sir.
I'm sorry, Josh Champagne, Homeland Security Director. We are putting some stuff together, getting prices for all the launches.
Okay.
And see when that price comes in and the funding for it and stuff like that.
Okay,
So it is in the works.
Okay, thank you.
All right?
Mr. Lorraine.
Yeah, Mr. Barnes, on that CDBG project on Highway 308, did you know of anytime soon will they be bidding that out? I think it was approved by the state and all. We're waiting on all kind of permits.
I'll get with Sandy and them to see what the status of it is. I know the right-of-ways is purchased and it's already approved by the state, and I'll get with Sandy and them to see when it's gonna be ready to be bid out.
Yeah, see if she could come to the next meeting or whatever. And then where we at with the Galliana Bridge, I'm pretty sure we're over on that one.
Liquidated damages start tomorrow, and we're probably gonna be at least a month away.
Okay, because the weather, they can't complain about the weather.
Yes, sir, and they've been put on notice. Yes, sir.
Moving on to Section I, council reports.
I got a question, sir.
Fired up.
Thank you. And you reminded me when our director just stepped up. Homeland Security, the contract to pay for Homeland Security ended December 31st. If we came up with a new contract, because the council hasn't approved, so I'm not sure who's going to be paying his salary, because we haven't approved the contract yet.
I've met with Todd Diaz, and we're working on that right now, and we haven't made any payments yet.
So we got somebody working right now without a contract approval.
We're not paying it. She's paid through the sheriff's department. We're getting invoiced.
Y'all getting invoices, but we're not paying it. So he's working for the sheriff or not? He's not working for the parish?
He always was working for the sheriff.
But we paid him.
Yeah.
All right. So who's going to pay the first 3 months if we didn't approve it?
If you don't approve it, it's not going to get paid. You have to approve it or not approve it. It's your choice.
Okay, just checking.
Is that it?
Yes, sir.
All right, moving on, Section I. Mr. O-Town.
Section I, I'm good.
Go ahead. Oh, you waiting for Section I? Council reports, presentation, updates, and our question, Session 1.
Yeah, I
Mr.
just want to
O-Town.
publicly thank all the sponsors and the nearly 1,000 volunteers that spread out across our parish and north of us to clean the bayou and I think it's either the 5th or the 6th annual bayou cleanup. So just want to publicly thank them for pulling all those tons and tons of trash and tires, et cetera, out the bayou. I think it's a great project. A lot of people get involved in it, and I just want to publicly thank everyone, both sponsors and volunteers.
And thank you, Armin, for spearheading that in the Central Lafourche area. You do a great service to our area. And Mr. Bowe? Yeah, well, you know. All right, moving on. Section J, Legal Advisor Report.
I wanted to thank Nooney, too. I know he was able to grab a derelict vessel, get some guys to help out. I'm sure he didn't do it himself, but that was really nice of y'all to do that. We approved some money at one of the last meetings about pulling some of these vessels out, so it's nice to get one for free, I guess.
Is everybody done? Y'all light them up at the last second while we're moving on. Legal Advisor Report, any? Being none. Public wishing to address the council, Ms. Carleen.
Mr. Clint Guidry, if you'd approach the podium, sir. State your name and address for the record, Mr. Guidry, and please remember you have 3 minutes.
My name is Clint Guidry. I live at 803 Highland Drive. Thank you for having me. I'm here today to discuss SOS Storage. It's a secure on-site storage company that is currently, or has been till recently currently, operating out of Prairieville, Louisiana. They are moving their operations to Nolan Highland subdivision, which is also known as Nolan Toop subdivision. They are in violation of the restrictions and the covenants of the neighborhood. I understand that I'm just here to express and let y'all know what's going on. I'm not here for any type of response, or where I know there's only so many things that y'all can do. I'm here to state that they are not allowed to have a business in the neighborhood. There is one business in the neighborhood that is there that is not following the restrictions in the neighborhood, but he has been there for 18 years. Within a 2-year period, the people did not contest his business. I'm here and I'm doing everything I can to contest this business. We have children within 40 feet. We have 2 of them. One is my own and one is another child. That is the disabled children that have autism and sensory problems, and these children will not be allowed to be outside without having major tantrums and major problems with all of this noise. We're also concerned about damage to our roads with maybe possibly trucks and equipment being dropped off and things like that. We are also here to announce that we're starting a homeowners association from this day forward that states that the restrictions are to be upheld from this day forward, except for one. We're going to exclude the metal roofs and metal buildings, because we all know that metal roofs are, energy efficient and stuff like that, and it's been so long that people have had it. So I just want to state that these people, that this business is operating under the table. What they're doing is, instead of buying commercial land, applying for commercial permits, paying commercial taxes, and doing all of these things, commercial inspections or whatever, permit inspections that companies have to go through, they got their permit residential, carport, and shed. Residential shed and carport. The bottom 4 foot of their business, of their building, is open because of FEMA regulations. You have to have either a FEMA-approved breakaway wall or something like that. They did this so that they wouldn't have to spend extra money to build up, so they wouldn't have to do these things. By them having the bottom of their building open, any noise that they make will directly affect the citizens of Nolan Toops. I have 144 signatures thus far, which equals out to 82 households that are behind me, and I will have more. We are going to do everything we can to stop this business from operating in our neighborhood, and we're going to uphold the restrictions and covenants of the neighborhood. Thank y'all for having me. Appreciate it.
Any questions for this gentleman?
I just have some advice real quick. I live in an old subdivision. We have covenants, and if somebody doesn't follow covenants, then you can take action within 2 years, understand, unless you have a brand new, everybody on the sign on the dotted line. So if y'all do try to go and have people sign, everybody has to sign to be held accountable. So just, make sure you either have somebody who can look at this legally for you.
Sure. We actually retained a lawyer. We have a lawyer on our side that's we retain. I just find that it's difficult as citizens to have to to bear the burden of paying for civil matters and lawyers when these people are clearly breaking the restrictions of the neighborhood. So, thank y'all.
Thank you. We have one more?
Yes, sir. Ms. Teresa Peters, if you'd approach the podium, state your name and address for the record, Ms. Peters, and please remember you have 3 minutes.
Okay. Teresa Peters, P.O. Box 389, Matthews. I'm here, I have a statement to read, if that's okay with y'all. It's pertaining to the last council meeting. Mr. Chairman, I'm going to be talking about 3 words. They are command, discipline, and respect. They're attributes needed in the position that you now hold, council chairman. You must be able to command as the council chair. You must have discipline and maintain control at all times. And you must have respect for the position that you hold and respect for all of the other members of this council. It saddens me to say that at the last council meeting, all of these attributes fell at the wayside. Losing control the way you did, that happens. But when you turned and you tried to get another council member involved in your lack of control, that showed very little discipline. It was totally out of line, and it showed little respect. And then the way you pointed the gavel at Councilman Lorraine, who is a senior member of this council, indicated, once again, a lack of discipline and control. Councilman Lafont, your comment about casting or not casting your vote because a young woman was not wearing red lipstick, as a woman, I was very offended. That, to me, was a sexist remark. And as a councilman who's not a newbie, you should have known better than to make that comment. You also showed no discipline and no respect. I would remind you all that having these, you all have these attributes. It's one of the many reasons that you all are here. You all have them. You were voted in the positions you're in because of these many reasons. I would ask that discipline and respect be used in this meeting and all of the meetings to come. I also want to remind you that you not only represent yourselves, but all of the people in your district. And Mr. Chairman, that even includes me, because you are my councilman. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. You have a question?
Yes, ma'am. First, I want to say thank you for coming out here because as elected officials, we are held to a higher standard. I wish more people would come forward because it's nice to hear somebody come and say, hey, this is what I have a problem. You know, you didn't come yelling, you didn't come, you know, in here stomping, marching, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Because we need to hear, you know, either by phone call or this, you know, we need to know what you feel. Also, do you watch the council meetings regularly?
Yes.
Okay. Reason is, would you say anybody name calling or constantly getting out of turn would be breaking these rules that you're talking about that we have to respect?
What?
It's a yes or no. I mean, do you think it's breaking the rules when you're name calling other councilmen?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, because you're coming now, and that's great you're coming, but I just know that there's some things that have happened that I've witnessed for a while, and
I've been sick.
okay, well, I'm sorry.
We forgive you.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know, it's just, you know.
I've been
might have missed a
sick.
few.
I do come to council meetings, and I do watch them. I've been sick. I
Yes,
had
ma'am.
surgery. It's going to be a year.
Yeah, I'm
in
sorry.
May.
It's just,
So,
you did miss a
yes.
few. But
Yes,
anyway.
I have.
Okay,
But I've been very, very ill.
thank you.
Anyone else have questions? All right, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, moving right along. Section 11, ordinances for discussion and ratification, none. Section M, public hearing and ordinances for ratification. Moved by Mr. Otam, second by Mr. Grove. All in favor? Any opposed? 9-0. Number 11, ordinance providing a variance from Lafourche Parish Family Subdivision Regulations, Chapter 22, Article 5, Section 22-274, water lines, hydrants, and gas lines from installation of a fire hydrant in the Mike and Robin Danos family partition as not recommended by the Lafourche Parish Planning Commission at their August 25, 2016 meeting. Moved by Mr. Lafont. Second by Lorraine. Any discussion from the public once, twice, three times? Council? I want to know what's this not recommended part of it.
Well, anytime that their rules, any variance off is not recommended. However, the parish has already, I'm going to give you a good example. My street, I live down East 28th Street. You have to get through East 28th Street to get to East 29th Street. East 29th Street has no water line at all. And there's several homes past the 600-foot mark from a hydrant. But the parish allowed the neighborhood to be built. Now, was it before the 600 rule was thing? I don't know, I wasn't there. So the whole argument is, and Nooney's a fire chief, and I know he's gonna discuss it, but they say you can't pass through somebody's yard with a fire hydrant. Well, guess what? On East 29th Street, if a house catches on fire, they passing through somebody's yard and they're not fighting the fire. Parish also, I wasn't here at the time, and Mr. Lorraine could attest to it. There's a neighborhood behind East 40th Street, probably, 4 miles, 5 miles in back the street. They wanted water lines. The parish itself ran 2-inch water lines, which is way between the parish and the water district. It was funded to run these water lines, 4 miles. These people build however they can build back there with a 2-inch water line, so we allow that. This guy's property, where the fire hydrant sits, if you cut across the property neighboring, it's right at the 600 mark. But it says you can't cut across, so you have to go along the highway and then down his property line. But if you shoot across his property, you're right at 600 foot. So that's why I'm asking, all the guy wants to build is a place to park boats in the middle of his property right there.
Mr. Otan.
Yeah, I can appreciate, and he's right, directly across, but there could be an impediment, and there often is, eventually an impediment. And as I stated in the past, not just because it's a fire hydrant, but any variance, if we're not doing for one, if we're not doing for all, we can't do for one. And I know there have been a lot of people that have come here to have asked for variances on fire hydrants because they're expensive, $6,000, $7,000. They're nothing nice. But if it has to be done for one, it has to be done for all. So I'm not in favor of anything that's going to single out and selectively allow one person to bypass the rules. If we change the rules, I'm good with it. But as the rules state today, I just, something I can't support.
Thank you. Mr. Bourgeois.
I just have a quick question for Mr. LaFont. You said he wants to park boats, like a commercial enterprise?
No, his kid, what it is the man owns the property. His kids graduated. They went out of school someplace. They took jobs there. They like to come down and fish. They just want to build them a little lean-to to park their fishing boats.
Ms. Faceto.
I'd just like to hear from Pat Mathern, who's
Patricia Mathern, Planning Manager for Lafourche Parish Government. Yes, variances are something that and I'm speaking on behalf of the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission will not recommend variances if they don't meet the criteria, and all different criteria apply to different variances. I'm sorry, I'm kind of losing my place. Anyhow, the only way the Planning Commission will recommend a variance from not installing a fire hydrant is if the owner can provide fire protection by some other type of means. If they cannot provide it by other means, then the Planning Commission will go by the regulations and will not recommend not installing a fire hydrant. In the past, yes, the Planning Commission has approved variances with a letter received from the fire department or the fire chief stating that they could provide fire protection by a draft stand, which the owner is required to, at their expense, install the draft stand and do whatever's required by the fire department, the fire chief. They sign off on it, and they maintain it. You're going to have one that's going to be coming soon on that one, okay? If the fire chief or the fire department does not back up the variance with a letter, then we feel that there's no fire protection, and we will not recommend, the Planning Commission will not recommend a variance from not installing a fire hydrant. The council is the one that amended the regulations way back where on the in order to be able to help people who are doing family divisions of property from installing an 8-inch water line, because anything under a 6-inch water line, you cannot install a fire hydrant. Therefore, you have to replace the water line, or if it's a family division of property, it has to be installed by the front of the private road, the entrance of the private road. That was the regulations that the council came up with a couple of years, 2-3 years ago, in order to still have fire protection for the residents, but not have to have them bear the cost of installing the water lines as you would do in a public division of property with a public subdivision. So therefore, that's why you're going to have some variants that are recommended to the council and some that are not. Each one is handled on an individual basis. They have to meet the criteria that's presented to you in your package, and they did not meet the criteria. Not wanting to put something is not a reason for a variance. A variance is for something that you cannot do, not something that you don't want to do. Thank you.
Thank you.
My question.
No, I had a question as to liability. When we approve a variance and just say, we couldn't provide fire protection, is the parish then on the hook?
I can't speak as far as liability. All I know is that if
it's the council makes their decision, they grant them or they deny them, and it's based, they break in their regulations if they approve a variance and it doesn't qualify for one. But as far as liability, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I guess that's my concern.
Mr. Grove?
My question is, this is the sixth time this has been on the agenda. It keeps getting deferred since last October. And the letter was in there saying that they didn't approve, and I was going to support them from the beginning. I don't know why it kept being deferred. I didn't know if we were waiting on new information, or if there was, did they change what they were going to do from the beginning? Why we didn't vote on this in October?
Trying to figure out a solution, an easier solution to do it without having to do it, but there's none. He would have to put a hydrant, spend a fortune when there's one 300 feet from his property right there. You know, you go all over this parish, I can show you neighborhoods after neighborhood that's out of violation. You and I won't live long enough to see all this whole parish and up to par. I think they carry, how many feet of holes y'all carry on y'all trucks? A lot, more than 600 feet. So, you know, to say that you can't separate it because of the 600 feet, I think the law used to be 1,000 foot at one time. I don't know why we changed it, but I might look into that, maybe meet with some of these fire chiefs, but, you know, especially it's this on the new road, 3235, the back road. It's all pretty much cow pastures, right there, and it's within it's pretty close. You gotta cut across the property, but they saying you can't cut across the property, so I just want to know how the people behind my house on East 29th Street are gonna get service for fire also if you can't cut across property. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if somebody's house is burning behind my house, they can pass with the fire trucks through my yard and it wouldn't bother me to save somebody's house or thing. So I'm just asking y'all to please do it. I know I'm not a big fan of variances all the time, but you know, he's got over 600 foot of holes on that truck, I guarantee you, to fight that fire.
Councilman LaFont, the regulations for the fire hydrant actually comes into play when people are dividing property. So you're correct, there are a lot of water lines that are undersized. I can tell you in different areas, a lot of areas. However, when you're going to come and further divide property, you're adding to that area, and that's when the fire hydrant comes into play. When we revised the regulations in 2006, the water district and the fire departments, the fire chiefs, attended our meetings. We had them 2 times a month. They were every 1,000 feet when you're doing a new subdivision, which would allow the fire hydrant to be within 500 feet of a structure. When we redid them, they asked that we follow the other parishes, like Terrebonne Parish and everything, and have them every 600 feet, which made it within 300 feet. So that's when they were amended. The family subdivisions were also amended, but because of the hardship it would cause with someone having to put a water line to divide their property for family members, they kind of compromised, said, okay, we're going to go ahead and have them do it at the beginning of the street. That way it still provides fire protection. Because keep in mind, a family subdivision, they're not supposed to sell outside the family unless they come back and make it public. If they were to make it public, they're going to have to run utilities, water lines, whatever. We can't control, it's up to whoever's passing sales or whatever to notice if it's being sold outside of a family. We can't control that. So what's happening, you're going to have people selling property that was approved as family to outside family members. And here you're going to have private streets, no fire hydrants, and you're going to get the calls. So I'm just making a comment. It's your choice to do. I know a lot of you are new, and we've been fighting this for years and years. And if there's any one of you who can come up with a solution, please call me and let me know.
Ms. Patton, I appreciate it. And Mr. Chairman, if I may, the fire hydrants are within 200 feet of the family property. You know, it's just that you have to follow the family property and in turn.
The regulation says that it has to be within 500 feet of each lot being carved out. And that was changed by Councilman Jalot because of fire hydrants possibly falling across the highway, but yet being within the required distance. So here again, we said if you have one within 500 feet of each lot that's being carved out. So if you have a private road and you have a fire hydrant across the highway or whatever that meets the 500 feet within that last lot being carved out, no, you don't have to install one because it meets the regulations. We just go by the regulations. And like I said, if you can come up with any solution to please let me know.
All right, thank you. I just
Mr.
asked.
Otam?
Yeah, and that's, I mean, he makes a legitimate, comment. You know, we can drop 1,200 foot of hose, and almost all departments have the large diameter hoses these days, but my neighbor had to install a $7,000 hydrant. Once again, till you change the regulation, make it fair to everybody, I don't think it's fair to accept one. And, Ms. Pat is correct in that the fire departments used to get solicited. I believe it was in 2013, however, Lafourche Parish Fire Chiefs Association unanimously made a resolution and sent a letter to past President Randolph that we no longer be asked about our support because we didn't want the liability of failing draft sites, et cetera. Draft sites require a lot of maintenance, so they don't silt up, and you have to make sure that you have a good water source, et cetera. So anyway, I just go back to my original point. Till the regulation change, I don't think it's right for us to allow one and not the other is the main thing.
I'm sorry, Jerry, I have to agree with that, man. It just makes the best sense to me. Anybody else? Oh, okay, Mr. Groh. All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
all in favor of this ordinance? Aye. Say again, all in favor?
You said aye, we could go.
All opposed? Nay. Put your hands up if you're opposed. So it fails 2-7. Sorry, man.
That's all right.
Item number 12, ordinance establishing that all.
Chairman, I'd like to pull that out.
You pulling? Yes, sir. Item number 13, ordinance providing for a $25 increase. Are you pulling?
Yeah, I'm pulling it.
Pulled 13. Item 14, ordinance amending ordinance 4044 and amending and reenacting section 2-63A, meetings of the Parish Council of Chapter 2 of the Lafourche Parish Code of Ordinances for the Lafourche Parish Council, changing the time of the regular meetings from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Mr. Jones move. Any second?
I second it.
Ms. Posito seconds. Any input from the public once, twice, 3 times? Open for comments. Mr. LaFont.
Oh, yeah. Corey, when you had called me and asked me what my thoughts were on this, I could see going to 5:30, 6 o'clock, and I understand your point. You want to give everybody a chance to make it here. But if we start at 6 o'clock, man, we ain't going to get out here till late. Some of these meetings can be we got employees, they've been here all day, working all day, and I just think 6 o'clock's too late. I would support 5:30, but 6 o'clock's just a little too late. So you feel that you need amended, I would like to see 5:30 instead of 6. That's just my thoughts.
Okay, Ms. Posito.
I guess I would wonder if public wishing to address the council, I don't think it would be a bad idea to have a second round of that like we do with council members wishing to question the administration, just because some people, no matter if it's 5:36, still won't be able to get here at that time. So maybe by the end of the meeting, if someone happened to show up late, they could address the council.
Thanks.
That's a great idea, if that's why we're trying to change it to address for public. I wrote down, I mean, we get out of here at 9:13, 9:10, 8:07, 10:40, 7:19. I mean, to add an hour to that, we can barely make it to the restaurant, now. I done packed 2 sandwiches for the night. When we ran when you was 5, I wish they were at noon. I mean, and I understand they were like that in the past. Years ago, they had them during the day. If people want to address us, they're going to address us. They're going to get here no matter what time. If you move it to 5:30, there's a lot of traffic under that bridge, at least for me. I mean, I have to come that way. At 5:30, you probably have to leave Thibodeau the same time to get here, or, if anybody coming from that way. I just don't know why. I mean, I think we should keep it at 5. That's just my 2 cents.
Mr. Otam.
Yeah, that was my concern also about 5:30 was the fact that it's knockoff time and getting caught up in all the traffic at knockoff time. So my preference is 5 or 6, either one, but 5:30 I think we're going to get caught in that knockoff time in this area.
You got some more, Jerry?
I just real quick on Lucy's stance, I don't think anybody's ever been turned down if they come late and they fill out a blue card and they hand it in. We've let people turn them in midway through the meetings before, so I don't think we've ever denied anybody the ability to speak at a council meeting. So I don't think that would be an issue. But I saw Somebody has their hand up in the audience, wants to speak.
You need to speak again?
I just agree with what y'all saying about the time.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Lorraine?
Yeah, I guess I've been here longer than you guys. We used to be at 10:30. In the morning. And it went to 5, it went to 6, it went to 7. It's like Johnny Cash. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, whatever. Whatever y'all want, gentlemen. I have no problem, but 6 o'clock, by the time you get through with all this engineers and all the other things, it takes about an hour. Then you get into the meeting. So why don't you just meet it halfway and go to 5:30 instead of 6? That's the best I could see. I'm trying to get y'all together. I mean, if you want to go to 7, I don't care. I'll be here anytime you want. I used to be here at 10:30 and stay here all day. And as far as the public, they'll come. If they need something, they'll come. I promise you. They're not, this deal about they're going to come after hours, that doesn't work. Just look at all the Port Commission meetings and all the levy district meetings. If they need something, they'll come. Whether it's 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 5:30, or whatever, 10:30. We had a full house at 10:30 when it was concerning them, depending on what the issues were. So that doesn't draw any more people.
Come on up, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. After the discussion, I have something to say. Ron
address.
Sopgate, 110 Bourgeois Street, Racine, Louisiana, 70394. Mr. Grove was exactly on record. I went and looked in the minutes, and last year we adjourned at 10:47, one of the meetings. I think y'all should just leave it at the same time. If it's a public problem with public comment, you can put various public comments in different sections, like between the ordinances, between the resolutions. Y'all can put 4 or 5 things in there, and they would just bring the blue paper to Ms. Carleen. I think that solves the problem. If that was the issue, if public comment is the issue about the meeting time. Mr. Chairman, any questions?
Nope, you're good.
Thank y'all.
All right. Yes, sir. Name and address for the record, please.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Jake Jeremy, 134 West 138th Street in Cutoff. I think, going to 5 or 6 with changing the time would be a poor idea personally. On a small business, so we work around the clock, so do y'all. As Mr. Lorraine stated, the Port Commission, they start their meetings during the day, on a weekday. So if someone has an issue, they will show up. But I want to address something that Ms. Carolyn Esche had said about the new website, that there will be a spot on there to communicate with council members as well as the executive branch directly through that. So we can kind of compromise of having it at the same time, but also utilizing technology to communicate with us if they cannot get to a meeting. We understand that times are tough now, and we have to, make sacrifices of, can't take off of work to come to a meeting. But there are other ways, such as our new website that we have designed, that we can remedy that. Thank you.
Thanks. All right, let's bring it to...
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
I
sir.
just want the public to know, and thanks, Mr. Jake, for speaking, but the website today, you can still get in touch with councilmen. Our phone numbers and emails are still on there. So,
Thank you. All right, let's move it to a vote. All in favor? Aye.
You want to amend it?
No. Any opposed? Fails 1-7. 1-8. 2-7. You have my back on that, Jerry? Thank you, sir. All right, fails 2-7. Moving on, item number 15, ordinance rescinding and repealing ordinance number 2455 adopted by Lafourche Parish Council, State of Louisiana, the Parish Council on September 10th, 1996. Do I have to read this whole thing? You're deferring this?
We're going to defer it because we didn't get our information back with the Attorney General.
All right. Item 15 is deferred. Till the 28th?
28th?
Yes. Huh?
Deferred until what meeting, Mr. Daniel?
Defer it for next meeting, and if
28th.
it's not, we don't have our information, we'll have to wait till the following.
All right, item number 16, ordinance providing for a 2017 supplemental appropriation 17-004 within the 2017 operations and maintenance budget to increase the budget to cover the MS4 permit consulting service with Morris P. Abear, Inc., and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said transactions as provided for by Article 6 of the Lafourche Parish Home Rule Charter. Moved by Mr. Jones, second by Ms. Posito. Public once, twice, three times. Any comment from the council? Discussion? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Ms. Posito, could you please read the proposed ordinances?
Motion to close.
Oh, motion to close by Mr. Jones, second by Mr. Grow. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Section N, Ms. Posito, please.
Number 17, proposed ordinance amending ordinance number 5732 and amending and reenacting section 266 of chapter 2 of the Code of Ordinance of the Parish of Lafourche as it pertains to the parish executive departments, hereby abolishing the departments of grants and economic development, proposed by Councilman Lafont.
I have an amendment to that, needs to be added, Ms. Corleen? Can't do it? I have to do it then? Okay, thank you.
Number 18, proposed ordinance amending ordinance number 5732 and amending and reenacting section 266 of chapter 2 of the Code of Ordinances of the Parish of Lafourche as it pertains to the parish executive department, hereby abolishing the departments of communication, proposed by Councilman Lafont. Number 19, proposed ordinance naming the Gaines Library the Lindell Toops Memorial Library, proposed by Councilman Lorraine. Number 20, proposed ordinance approving the attached servitude agreement between Hubert J. Ogeron and the Lafourche Parish Council, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement, proposed by Councilman Otan. Number 21, proposed ordinance approving the attached servitude agreement between Lonnie M. Chasson and the Lafourche Parish Council, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement, proposed by Councilman Perilou. 22, proposed ordinance approving the attached servitude agreement between Mary Lee Foray Danos and the Lafourche Parish Council, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement, proposed by Councilman Otan. 23, proposed ordinance approving the attached servitude agreement between Brad M. Fields and the Lafourche Parish Council, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement, proposed by, can I get someone to, proposed by Councilman Bourgeois. 24, proposed ordinance approving an act of donation between Lafourche Parish Government and the Drainage District, number 1, for the donation of one John Deere 6110M cab tractor and one Tiger Model BB 2230S Stow Mid-Mount Hydraulic Rotary Boom Mower, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer any and all relevant documents, proposed by Councilman Lorraine. 25, proposed ordinance amending the 2017 Operations and Capital Budget for the Lafourche Parish Council, as well as setting the salaries of the unclassified employees as provided by Article 5 of the Lafourche Parish Home Rule Charter, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer any and all relevant documents, proposed by Councilman Melvin.
I'll move for him, he's not in the office.
Proposed by Councilman Lafont. 26, proposed ordinance approving the attached servitude agreement between Larry Leday, K. Leday Boudreau, and Daniel J. Leday, and the Lafourche Parish Council, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement, proposed by Councilman Grow. 27, proposed ordinance providing for the 2017 supplemental appropriation 17-005 within the 2017 operation and maintenance budget and capital outlay budget to cover Lafourche Parish's matching funds and grant award funds for the East Side Airport Corridor 17025 and the West Side Airport Corridor 16008, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said transaction as provided for by Article 6 of the Lafourche Parish Home Rule Charter. Proposed by Councilman Lorraine.
Thank you, ma'am. Section O, resolutions. Number 28, resolution requesting the Lafourche Parish District Attorney to render an opinion on who makes the decision to use the metal detector devices at the parish has in Government Complex in Matthews and South Lafourche Government Complex. Moved by Mr. Lorraine. Anybody second it? No. Second by Mr. Grove. Any discussion? Ms. Esposito, you lights still on? All right, move to a vote. All in favor? Let's ask again. All in favor? So 3. Any opposed? Nay. Put your hands up if you oppose again, please. Did you vote? Okay, so it passes 5-4. No, negative. It fails 4-4.
Can I say something?
Absolutely.
Thank you. I would, seems like I'm trying to get this passed, I can't, but I would ask the administration to ask the district attorney to render that opinion, if you don't mind.
Thank you, sir. Lucy, Mr. Grove, Daniel, and Mel. Yeah. All right, moving along, item number 29, resolution requesting Lafourche Parish District Attorney to render an opinion as to who regulates the cable TV rates. Is it the franchises authority, or is it the Federal Communications Commission, FCC, the Public Service Commission, or any other agency? Moved by Mr. Lorraine. Second by Mr. Lafont. Any discussion? Mr. Grove.
I don't understand, did you call a cable company? I mean, I don't, we talked about this a little while. The DA's opinion is gonna make that decision?
I have this packet right here, and I just want to clarify it, because some councilmen think it's the FCC, some councilmen think it's the Public Service Commissioner, some councilmen think it's the franchise. According to this, it's whoever has the franchise, but I'd like to get it officially from him, and I'll send this with it if you want to pass it down. Thank you.
All right. Moving to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Item number 30, resolution requesting the Lafourche Parish District Attorney to render an opinion on the following. Number 1, when is it legal to abstain from a vote? For example, is it legal to abstain to avoid a controversial vote, or must there be a true conflict of interest? Second, must the reason one abstains be offered in the public record at the time of abstention? And 3, if someone abstains, should they be required to recuse themselves from any discussion and perhaps recuse themselves from the meeting? Moved by Ms. Sposito, second by Mr. Jones. Any discussion? Ms. Lucy?
I don't think it's illegal. I think it's violating Robert's Rules of Order. So I may have to make an amendment to that. And is it violating Robert's Rules of Order, I would think, instead of is it legal?
Okay, so you want to make that amendment now?
Yes. I'd write the whole thing.
Once you got that? I want this to go with it because it tells you right there.
Okay, so now, we need a,
Authority is in charge.
right, exactly. We need to get a second on Ms. Lucy's amendment. Anyone? Second Ms. Lucy's amendment? Mr. Melvin. Ms. Carleen, do you want to read the corrected sentence, the amended sentence?
Resolution requesting Lafourche Parish District Attorney to render an opinion on the following. Number 1, we had the word legal. We're going to line that out. When is it violating Robert's Rules of Order to abstain from a vote?
Okay,
So we're
thank you.
removing legal, replacing it with violating Robert's Rules.
All right, Mr. Grove, you have a comment?
Yeah, my questions just were, you know, and I think if we want to get an opinion from the district attorney, I think we should be able to do it, so I'm not opposed to asking him. But I just don't understand who would decide if something's controversial. It might be controversial to one council person and not to others. Discussion is had, and during the discussion, you might realize that you might have a conflict or a reason to abstain. I just don't know why we're asking for that, you know, that's it.
Do you want to answer it?
Yes, I will. In the past, we've had council members who have vigorously opposed or defended one topic in some way and then abstained from voting. So I always thought that you abstained, Robert's Rules of Order meant you abstained if there was a conflict of interest. And if you abstained, I don't believe you should be able to participate in discussion. I think that's in Robert's Rules of Order. I don't know how you can vehemently oppose or defend or vigorously, engage in discussion and then abstain from the vote. So I think our residents expect, our constituents expect more from us than that, especially if you're going to bother the council and waste the time with, sharing your point of view, then vote.
Yeah, we
So-
get all our packets like 4 days before the meeting, or, so we should know if we're gonna abstain or not before.
Right, I think you would know if it's a conflict of interest. And I guess that's where the initial question is, are you supposed to abstain when there's a conflict? Not when you don't feel like voting, not when it's I don't even know some of the reasons people have given. And then I thought you were required to give a reason for abstaining. So I'd just like the DA to clear that up. And I know I have Robert's Rules of Order. We were all provided that book. I've read it, and I would have imagined the others should have as well, but
Mr. Lorraine?
I think you can do what you want. Nobody can force you to vote. I could recall when the Terrebonne Parish Council couldn't get a president to run the council because the vote was 4-4. Till finally it came to where somebody flipped, decided to vote. If I don't want to vote, I ain't gonna vote. Nobody's gonna make me vote. I don't care what you do or what you don't do. I don't have to vote if I don't want to. I prefer to vote. But if I don't want to, you can't make me
Mr.
and
Chairman,
anybody else. ain't gonna make me.
the council is running on Robert's Rules of Order.
I understand.
And I understand, we can do all these backyard playground stuff, but
Right.
we have agreed to run the meetings on Robert's Rules of Order. And if we want to be childish and just make up
I'm
our
not-
rules as we go, then okay, but I thought we were running
I'm
under
not being
Robert's Rules of
childish.
Order.
I'm not being childish. If I don't, what happens if I'm related to the person or whatever? How do you know
That's a
I am or I'm
conflict.
not?
Then that's a
I
conflict,
could
and
say
that's
that.
when someone's
Well, I
supposed to
could
say
say I'm
there's
related to him
conflict.
even though I'm not. You
I'm
never
just
know.
used to being involved in meetings that
I
follow
think
Robert's
it's
Rules
childish
of
for that to
Order.
come up on the agenda, Lucy.
And
Please, let's have a little respect. Mr. Melvin?
Okay, it's my understanding you can abstain for 2 reasons, and 2 reasons only, and they're both conflicts. One is if you're related by blood to the situation and it's an immediate relative, not a third cousin once removed or married to my sister's sons, daughters, whatever, okay? Because as a DA told me, everybody's related in this parish and we couldn't vote if that was the case. Number 2, if you have a business financial interest, we are elected by the people to vote. And when you get on this council, you're going to have to own it because we owe it to you guys. Because I think when you abstain, and granted maybe some people might have been uninformed, that's cowardly. You don't abstain when people put you up here to vote. Or like maybe in the old days when some people during a vote, not during resolutions, but during a vote, people walk out the door because they don't want to vote, okay? That's wrong. People put us here for a reason. We need to honor our oaths. But I agree, we need to have the DA look at it. I don't have a problem with that.
Anyone else? Go ahead.
And if we do change the charter and people vote on that, there won't be any more abstaining for just because you feel like it. Because if the charter says it, we're going to have to follow it.
Thank you. All right, moving to a vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 8-1. We had Ms. Lucy with an amendment, and Mr. Melvin seconded it. Let's vote on the amendment. Back up for 1 second. We're going to vote on the resolution as amended. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any discuss? I thought we were discussing the amendment. So any further discussion on it as amended? Okay, so we're going to vote on the resolution as amended. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 8-1 as amended. All right, resolution number 31, resolution requesting the Lafourche Parish District Attorney to render an opinion as to whether interim employees are eligible to receive the same benefits insurance, vacation, sick leave, comp time, overtime, etc., as classified and unclassified, whose appointments have been approved by council, and those who have undergone civil service testing employees. Moved by Ms. Sposito, seconded by Mr. Jones. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 32, resolution requesting Lafourche Parish District Attorney to render an opinion as to, in the event the parish president is unable to fulfill his duties for any reason, who would then assume the duties of the parish president if there is no appointed parish administrator in place, but an interim parish administrator as designated by the parish president. Moved by Ms. Sposito, second by Mr. Lafont. Any discussion?
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Are you feeling all right, Mr. Jimmy? Okay, thank you, sir.
All right. All in favor?
Mr. Chairman, I didn't hear his comment. Can you ask him to put his mic and repeat? I think we need it on record.
Can you turn your mic on, sir?
Sure can. I said, I want to go eat at some people's house. That's exactly what it said.
So Daniel asked him if he's feeling all right, and he said he don't go eat at some people's houses.
Right.
All right. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Nay.
Speak up if you're opposed.
I'm aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Passes 8-1. Number 33, resolution requesting Lafourche Parish District Attorney to render an opinion as to whether a convicted felon can serve on a parish board. Moved by Ms. Sposito.
Second.
Second by Mr. Lafont. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 34, resolution requesting the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development, LODOTD, to place no littering signs along the side of LA 20 from the Thibodaux city limits north to Our Lady of Prompt Succor Catholic Church, Chack Bay, Louisiana, Parish of Lafourche, State of Louisiana. Moved by Ms. Sposito. Second by Mr. O-Town. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 35, resolution requesting the administration to enter into an intergovernment agreement with the Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office to provide security at Lafourche Parish Council meetings. Can someone move? Mr. O-Town. Second by Mr. Lafont. Any discussion?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
Mr. Grove.
So we're looking to hire a police, I assume, to work the front. When normally we usually have someone from the Sheriff's Department in attendance at our meetings. So the average meeting on the math that I saw was 4 hours. Sometimes we have a 1-2 minute meeting. Some of these things we have to come in just to vote on 1 or 2 things. We would still have to pay a 3-hour minimum for that. Is that correct? So for 2 minutes, we'd have to pay a $78 charge at that rate when we have someone at our meetings already.
That's how it's designed, yes.
Okay.
Mr. Lorraine?
Yeah, I want to add an amendment to that. I think we should be concerned with everybody in the parish and not just the council. My amendment is to put all parish buildings be manned and have metal detectives at all times when being used.
Write it down, please.
It's right here. You can have it, sir. And first of all, it's only a request. You can only request it. That's what I'm doing. I feel that this may need to be protected, but I think every building in this parish needs to be protected, not just the council. You need to think about the public too. Don't think about just us. We should be the last ones to have it if you really want to get security. And it's a request. I'm still waiting for the water study at Dugas. I'm still waiting for the Dugas pump. That's been a request. You don't have the funding. Corey can't get the funding on his own. They need the parish president. That's the link they're missing.
Oh, of course. All right, so the amendment was made by Mr. Lorraine, seconded by Mr. Bourgeois. Any more discussion on as amended?
No. I got a question after.
Okay, we'll vote on it as amended. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Nay. Fails 2-7. So back to the original resolution, Mr. Melvin.
I just had a question, and this is probably for a lawyer, and I don't know if we have any in here, but what would happen, God forbid, something went down in this chamber and I'm just asking about liability, are we liable for people who get hurt? And ultimately, it's the taxpayers on the hook as far as tax dollars and insurance. I don't know.
Is that it?
We can answer that, Mr. Chairman, that's irrelevant.
Well, what I'm saying is, if we don't have some sort of protection here and something happens, that's my question.
I'd assume the parish is liable in one way or another, whether it be the council or the parish as a whole. All right, no more discussion. We're going to vote on the resolution as originally written. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Passes 7-2. Number 36, resolution reappointing one commissioner to represent Families in Need of Service, FINS, to the Lafourche Parish Children and Youth Planning Board. Moved by Mr. Grow. Second by Mr. Otan. Any discussion? Mr. Grow.
It's Miss Lanny Tarr.
Can we get a second? Second by Mr. Lafont. Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 37, resolution reappointing one member to the Fire Protection District Number 1 Board. Moved by Mr. Bourgeois. Can we get a name?
Michael Gardner?
Okay, can we get a second on Michael Gardner? Second by Mr. Lorraine. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Thank you, Mr. Bourgeois. Number 38, resolution reappointing one member to Lafourche Parish Communications District Board. Moved by Ms. Sposito. Second by Mr. Melvin. Any Ms. Sposito?
Mr. Mark Fontenot.
Can we get a second on Mr. Mark Fontenot? Second by Mr. Jerry Jones. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 39, resolution approving a cooperative endeavor agreement for Homeland Security equipment from South Central Planning and Development Commission funded through the FY15 Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness Grant number EMW 2055SS00043S01, and furthermore transferring ownership of said equipment to Lafourche Parish Government and authorizing Parish President to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any and all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Otam, second by Mr. Lafont. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 40, resolution approving an agreement with Morris P. Hebert, Inc. for MS4 permit consulting services and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any and all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Jones. Second by Mr. Lafont. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 41, resolution approving the purchase.
Mr. Chairman, I want to defer that to the next meeting.
All right, number 41 is deferred until March 28th.
And number 43.
42 also, sir?
43.
All right, number 42, resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement between Lafourche Parish Government and the Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office to provide funding in the amount of $26,723.47 from the FY15 State Homeland Security Program grant for the purchase of a generator, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any and all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Otam, second by Ms. Sposito. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 43 is being deferred until March 28th. Item number 44, resolution approving the purchase of 2 CB14B utility rollers to be used by the Department of Public Works for various road repairs throughout the parish, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer any and all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Grove, second by Mr. Jones. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 45, resolution ratifying the reappointment of Marcel Lovelace to represent the Lafourche Parish Bar Association on the Lafourche Parish Civil Service Board, moved by Mr. Grow, second by Mr. Jones. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor? Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Item number 46, resolution rescinding resolution number 16-014 that approved an agreement between Lafourche Parish Government and Ducks Unlimited, Inc. to providing funds for the Golden Meadow Marsh Creation Project Phase 2 and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer any and all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Lafont, second by Mr. Bourgeois. Discussion?
Look, they're not doing away with the project, it comes back up again, so they had to redo some paperwork, if I believe, right, Mr. Cantrell, right, on that? Just to
All
let
right.
y'all know.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 47, resolution approving the use of school facilities request between Lafourche Parish Government and Lafourche Parish School Board for the use of Golden Meadow Middle School and Galliana Elementary School for Lafourche Parish Recreation District 3 summer programs, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreements and any and all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Lorraine. Second by Mr. Bourgeois. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor? Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 48, resolution approving the parish president's appointment of Paul Robichaud for the position of Community Services Director for Lafourche Parish Government and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer any and all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Lafont. Second by Mr. Lorraine. Any discussion?
Chairman,
Mr.
like the
Jones.
meeting. I like the meeting.
Mr. Robichaud, would you please come up, please, and introduce yourself? Let me add, he is currently serving as the interim.
Mr. Chairman, if I could just say a few words real quick.
Could you hold off, please?
Sure.
Mr. Jones has the floor. You have questions?
I've just liked the meeting, but I never met him before, so.
Mr. Robichaud, you want to introduce yourself and tell us a couple of things about yourself, or how you want to handle that?
Paul Robichaud, 856 Hamilton Street in La Rose. As far as a few things about myself, I've been a resident of Lafourche Parish, 30 or so years of business experience. I don't have a whole lot to say. I'll answer any questions you have.
Well, no, I never met you, and I think I spoke with you on the phone, and I hear a lot of good things about you. You're a good guy. I would very much like you to stay that way. And if I could do any service to you or help you any way, please feel free to call me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Lafont.
Paul's not a man of many words, but I can tell you, been knowing Paul for a while, been knowing his family. His whole family is very involved in the community. They've always volunteered. They've always helping out. I think he's doing a good job already. Went to a recreation meeting this last week, and they said it was one of the best meetings they've had recently. So I think he's more than qualified. I believe he worked for Dan Austin Curol for umpteen years, or 440 years or something like that. But you know, he's an outstanding guy in the community and very well liked in the area he lives in. So Paul, thank you so much for attempting the job. I wish you luck and good luck. I think you're going to bring good things to the parish.
Ms. Placido.
Paul, it's impressive resume. I sure appreciate your willingness to come and work for the parish. I know it seems like difficult times, but with people like you, qualified people like you, I think we're well on the road to recovery and doing great things for the parish. So thank you for what you're doing so far.
Thank you.
Mr. Otan.
Yeah, howdy. I know we haven't met, and I certainly want to, extend open arms and embrace you because, one of my biggest regrets taking over as councilman has been the consolidation of the rec district just because of chaos that has ensued since then. And I certainly want to help any way possible to try to bring some stability to that, I guess. a lot of people are still wondering, you know, why did we move towards that direction? And I know we're starting to pick up a little bit of steam. It's taking quite some time, and I certainly hope you bring stability to that area. And I want to offer myself to help you and assist you any way, shape, or form when it comes to recreation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Jerry, you done?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
All right. No more questions or comments? We'll move it to a vote now. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Congratulations, sir. Pass 9-0.
Thank you.
Item number 49, resolution approving amendment number 1 to the contract between Lafourche Parish Government and Pisciola and Associates, Inc. for consulting project management services pertaining to the implementation of projects funded by the Community Development Block Grant CDBG Disaster Recovery Program through the Parish Implemented Recovery Program by the Louisiana Recovery Authority, LRA, related to Hurricanes Gustav and Ike on behalf of Lafourche Parish Government, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said amendment and any and all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Lorraine. Second by Mr. O-Town. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 50, resolution approving a memorandum of understanding between Lafourche Parish Government and the Louisiana Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority to provide funding for the oyster lease acquisition and compensation program, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said memorandum of understanding and any and all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Lafont. Second by Mr. Bourgeois. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 51, resolution approving amendment number 1 to the contract between Lafourche Parish Government and T. Baker Smith, LLC for the CDBG Gustav Ike project entitled Lockport Canal, or Lockport Company Canal South Bank Levee Lift Improvements, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said amendment and any and all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. O-Town. Second by Mr. Jones. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 52, resolution approving amendment number 1 to the agreement between Lafourche Parish Government and Duplantis Design Group, PC, for engineering design services for the Lockport Community Center, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said amendment and any and all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. O-Town. Second by Mr. Lorraine. Any discussion?
I just want to ask, Armin, from what I'm reading, they said that they're leaving the swimming pool out for now?
Yeah, due to a lack of some funding and some extra costs since we've moved the facility from a previous location. And the main thing is this is a CBDG funding. Yeah. And I guess additionally is the Duplantis Design Group has been on board since
from the beginning,
from the inception. And it's important to note that we have a deadline date now that we're quickly approaching, which is in August, so we really have to stay on the fast track.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move it to a vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 53, resolution approving amendment number 4 to the grant application for the project entitled Lafourche Parish Affordable Rental Program, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said amendment and any and all relevant documents. Moved by Ms. Posito, second by Mr. Jones. Any discussion? Being none, move it to a vote. All in favor? Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 54, resolution approving an agreement between Lafourche Parish Government and Top Drawer Strategies, LLC, to provide governmental relations and public affairs services, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any and all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Lorraine, second by Mr. Bourgeois. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor?
I got a question.
Wait. Put the brakes on, Mr. Groh.
In the contract, there's words of plus additional costs. I didn't know if we had any additional costs this past year. Okay, because it's kind of vague to me. Okay.
Mr. Lorraine.
Yes, maybe the clerk can help me out a little bit. I got a few emails on letter of support for this lady. Did all the delegations submit a letter of support? How many submitted? 4? Senate? we had Mr. Dove, Mr. Alain, and who's the other two?
Z and Tanner.
Antenna. Okay. The only problem I have, we never had this before, but I think it helped out a lot. I think the vessel tax, she was a big factor in it not happening. And I know Wendy Thibodeau went up there and tore whatever she had to tear up. She was a big factor, the sheriff. But I think we need to really look at this hard. I mean, you're talking about $42,000 a year. We combine with Terrebonne. President Dove is a big Republican, and he knows a lot of Republicans in the representative part and in the Senate. And I think he reaches out to her because she pretty much has some ties with the governor. So don't forget, anything that we do has to go mainly to our delegation. And we have a strong delegation as far as the delegation, the senators and the representatives. And from there, it goes to the House and it goes to the Senate. And guess what? The governor has the veto power, line item veto. So he can strike anything he wants out, whether you like it or not. That's just the way it works. So I think we have somebody here that's connected to the governor, it's connected to just about all the representatives and senators, doing a decent job, only paying the $42,000 a year. We're paying an auditor $70,000 plus benefits, that's $100,000. So this is just a drop in the bucket. And she does good work. And I think she deserves to get her contract renewed for what it's worth. I think it does. And also, I wanted to congratulate her. I think that's her first child that she's getting ready to have. Okay. She will have a baby in August, and I just happened to talk to her, and then I have a daughter that's pregnant too, so I'll have a first one too, and she'll have a first one. So I wanted to congratulate her on that, and I think her work speaks for itself. And that's basically all I could say.
Mr. Grove.
I was just going to ask for support on this, made several calls. You know, she wasn't the only piece. I spoke with Wendy, and I know Wendy has her own lobbyist that she had fighting over there. But I think every bit can help. I just don't know what an alternative would be if this wouldn't pass. You know, I understand it may be new to you, Daniel, in past parish presidents may have went and fought. I think we need her there speaking for us, keeping things relevant. Although we may have not had a lot of new things since she's come on board, she did keep things that we do have on the table relevant. And I just don't know what the alternative is. I haven't seen any other plan for lobbyists. This is the way the game's done up there, and we need her. I'm asking for support.
Mr. LaFont.
I just want to make one comment. And it's due to the letter of support from Senator Alain. Senator Alain says that, and I'm going to read the second paragraph on his letter. In 2016, Mary Patricia worked hard to keep me, a member of your legislative delegation, informed and involved in issues that matter most to our parish. Specifically, she partnered closely with your parish assessor and Aaron Smith at Offshore Marine Services Association to prevent devastating cuts to local revenue sources from offshore vessels that would have truly decimated our parish. Together, we were able to prevent those cuts, which were originally backed by the governor. One thing really disturbs me in that sentence. Together, we were able. Senator Alain was the sponsor of Senate Bill 14 that was trying to take the money away from us. Why do we have to pay somebody to go fight our own delegation was trying to take our money away from us? That's appalling. When he authored the bill to take our money to put together, he shouldn't have put together. He should have put the names that he had and left his name out. Because it ain't together, because he was the one trying to take our money. I'm appalled at that.
Thank you. We'll give you 3 minutes to address that.
Mary Patricia Ray, 328 East Drive, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 70806. And so there were many different versions of the offshore vessel tax bills filed last year. Senator Alland's versions were not the governor's versions of the bill, which would have done away with the tax completely. He had several working versions of his bill. Some of them would have phased out the tax itself. And his plan also had mechanisms to backfill local government revenues. In my opinion, and I think Senator Alland knows this, it would not have been positive legislation for the parish or for your revenue streams, but he was very much opposed to the bills he was describing opposition to, which were not his own. They were the governor's bills filed by Ted James from Baton Rouge. And I just want to make sure we don't badmouth the senator and we get it all straight about what he was for and what he was against.
All right,
I really
thank you.
appreciate it.
Appreciate it. All right, now we're going to move this thing to a vote. All in favor? Please raise your hand if you're in favor. 4. All opposed? Nay. Fails 4-5. Yays again, please. Put your hands up. All right, moving right along, item number 55, resolution approving an agreement between Lafourche Parish Government and Ducks Unlimited, Inc. to provide funding for the Golden Meadow Marsh Creation Project Phase 2 and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any and all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Lafont, second by Mr. Bourgeois. Any discussion? Mr. Lafont, is your light still on from last time? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Passes 9-0. 56, resolution appointing 2 members to the Sewage District Number 1 Board. Moved by Mr. Melvin. You want to name those members? There you go.
Kent Learet and Jonah Husbands.
We get a second? Mr. Jones seconds. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 57, resolution approving amendment number 1 to the Cooperative Endeavor Agreement, CEA, between the State of Louisiana Division of Administration, Office of Community Development, OCD, and Lafourche Parish Government for the assistance in execution of the Hurricane Isaac Parish Hazard Mitigation Assistance LMI Cost Share Program, CFDA 14.228 Grant B-13-DS-22-0001, year 2013, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said amendment and any and all relevant documents. Moved by Ms. Sposito, second by Mr. Lafont. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Item 58, resolution approving the entity-state agreement between Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development, DOTD, and Lafourche Parish Government Entity for road safety improvements, Choctaw Road striping in Lafourche Parish, Louisiana, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any all relevant documents. Moved by Ms. Sposito, second by Mr. Lafont. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Item number 59, resolution approving the Louisiana Compliance Questionnaire as part of the legislative auditor's requirement for completion of audits and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer any and all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Lorraine. Second by Mr. Bourgeois. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 60, resolution accepting a low quote of Complete Network Management, Inc. in the amount of $27,960 for the purchase of computers and equipment for the Lafourche Parish Library and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer any and all relevant documents.
I'd like to defer this until I could search a little more into it to the next meeting or so.
So defer till the 28th?
April the 11th. April the 11th.
Till April 11th?
Yes, sir.
Isn't this a timely item?
I have no idea. I was at that meeting, but there's some things I didn't quite understand. I'd like to meet with them and find out what's what.
Okay, yeah, from what I understand, there's a time
Mr. Chairman,
limit
it's a
on it.
timely thing. I got a call from a library board member.
If they don't use that money, they'll lose it by a certain date, and I
No,
think it's...
that's not the same one. No.
Okay.
No.
All All right, so it's deferred till
They need some-
April?
Is this the
11.
one about the routers?
No, that's not the routers. Not that. That's computers.
This is complete network management.
The routers is gonna be on the next meeting,
Okay, so deferred till April?
April the 11th.
11th. Item number 61, resolution appointing one member to the Coastal Zone Management Advisory Committee, moved by Mr. O-Town. You want to give that name? Need your light on.
Archie Chesson III.
Can we get a second? Second by Ms. Lucy Esposito. Any discussion?
Yeah, I think
Mr.
we
Lorraine?
need to probably go to the DA to see, they got a 2-year span. I'm not sure if that's gonna affect it or not, but it's not 2 years that he's been gone and he was an employee of the parish.
Mr.
I
O-Town,
think
do you want to
if-
defer it?
No, he could approve it pending the deal from the DA. You can do it that way. And if the DA says it's okay, then it goes.
Mr. LaFont?
I just want to say, if he comes back and says he can't do it, then we're gonna have to remove a lot of members that, we have a lot of parish employees that sit on boards, so we'd have to move a lot of members off of boards.
Understood. All right, let's move it to a vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes. No. Did you want it to amend it to pending DA approval?
I'm not sure, I don't have any purpose for going.
Okay, so it passes 8-1. Gotcha. 8-1. Daniel says no. Item number 62, resolution approving an intent to purchase between Lafourche Parish Government and Joey and Roxanne Enterprises LLC for 32.914 acres of real estate located on the north side of Louisiana Highway 1 in Lockport in the amount of $494,000 for the Lockport Community Center, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said intent to purchase and any and all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. O-Town. Second by Ms. Esposito. Comments?
Is that fair market value for that property? I know it was appraised, but.
Mr. Jimmy?
It's the appraisal we have, and that's fair market value.
Okay. I also have a question. That's not dealing with any grant funding, right? That would be coming out of the parish coffers? CDBG grant?
That's all in a grant for the Lockport Community Center.
Okay. All right, any more discussion? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 63, resolution approving a transfer of appropriation 17-001 in the amount of $27,960 from the library auto machinery project to library computer equipment project 16-023, and authorizing parish president to sign, execute, and administer any and all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Lorraine. Second by Mr. Grove. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. So, this public hearing announcement, that's for the next meeting? Do you want to do the honors? Oh, okay, so he's calling for it?
Yes. You gonna read it, Mr. Bourgeois?
Yeah, Mr. Bourgeois, you want to read the announcement for your public hearing?
No problem, read it. But he's on it.
You're the sponsor?
Lafourche Parish Government will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, March 28, 2017, at 6 p.m. in the Matthews Government Complex, 4876 Highway 1, Matthews, Louisiana, 70375. The purpose of the meeting is to obtain views on the housing and community development needs of Lafourche Parish and to discuss the submission of an application for funding under the State of Louisiana Fiscal Year 2018-2019 Community Development Block Grant, LCDBG program. The items to be discussed at the hearing include the amount of funds available for proposed community development and housing activities, the range of activities available that may be undertaken, including the estimated amount of funds proposed to be used for activities that will benefit persons of low and moderate incomes, and Lafourche Parish government's past performances on LCDBG projects funded by the state of Louisiana. All residents, particularly of low and moderate income persons and residents of slum and blighted areas of Lafourche Parish, are encouraged to attend this meeting. Accommodations will be made for persons with disabilities and non-English speaking individuals, provided that a 3 working day notice of such need is received by the Lafourche Parish Council Clerk's Office at telephone number 985-446-8427 or email at councilclerk@lafourchegov.org. Those citizens unable to attend this hearing may submit their views in writing until the close of business on Tuesday, March 21st, 2017, to James B. Cantrell, Parish President, whose mailing address is Post Office Drawer 5548, Thibodaux, Louisiana 70302.
Thank you. All right, moving on. Section Q, questions for the administration, Session 2. Mr. Bourgeois.
Mr. Cantrell, do you have an announcement Ms. Eshte wants to read?
Yes, this was given to me by the parish president earlier today. This evening, a press release will detail a project as a joint effort between Lafourche Parish government and Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Waterworks to reduce the inundation of the water flowing from Bayou Lafourche through the Lafourche Canal and consequently into the Fort Escarpment Canal. Gate valves have been repaired at the entrance of the Lafourche Canal, and remote monitoring devices have been introduced to regulate the water flow. This project will have a profound impact on the Bayou Blue community as well as the St. Charles community, along with the Country Club, Brandywine, and Bayou Vista neighborhoods for drainage. I have released this article across all media tactics and via email for more information.
Done. Mr. LaFont?
Yeah, I got a question, and maybe y'all can get some information for the next meeting. It concerns the death penalty trial that we had a while back. I think it was Brown, the gentleman's Brown name. It was brought to my attention that the parish had rented rooms at this certain hotel, I don't remember the name, and we rented rooms for approximately 2 months, and nobody stayed in the rooms to a tune of almost $70,000. If y'all could get me some information on that, I'd appreciate it, to find out who approved it. I'd like to see all the emails communicating back and forth. It just troubles me that, to know that we had hotel rooms rented for 2 months and nobody stayed in it. So I'd like to see the information on that, if y'all can get that, please.
Mr. Melvin?
Yeah, in regards to item 35, I wanted to excuse my confusion. Of course, we know who's responsible with the insurance, but if you don't provide some sort of security, it could expose the parish to a lot more liability by just letting everything go wild instead of having a guard here or somebody. So sorry about that. Thank you.
Mr. Grove?
I just want to ask the administration, since we no longer have a lobbyist, if you can come up with a plan as to how we're going to stay relevant and who's going to be going to Baton Rouge and fighting for our needs. If you can get that back to us, I appreciate it.
Jerry, you still have something? No. I have a question for the parish president. Mr. Jimmy, did you order your department heads to tell employees not to talk to Reggie Boggle or they'd be fired? Can you put your mic on, please?
No, sir.
All right. Did the department heads just make this up on their own and just go rogue on you?
I don't know.
Mr. Jimmy, did you order the receptionist to escort Reggie Bogler throughout the building and annotate every time he spoke to someone and report that back to you?
I told her that he had a way of getting in to make sure, because I didn't want to meet him in the hallway. I wanted to make it easy for him to get to his office, where the office would be.
All right. Thank you, sir. Any more questions? Moving on, Section R, council reports, presentations, updates on our question session 2. Any? Being none, moving on. Mr. Grove.
Not quick enough, I guess. My question is to council. I think we made a mistake by not keeping this lobbyist tonight. And I offered some discussion. Mr. Lorraine offered some discussion. Mr. LaFont disagreed with the letter. And, I mean, it's your right to vote no, and it's your right to not discuss, but I'd like to know what the plan is, or why we voted against it, and what are we going to do to fight for this money?
I'm going to tell you why I voted against it. That's $42,000, and they want to raise the taxes on people to pick up garbage. It was absolutely a fiscal issue for me. We have enough parish employees that they can appoint somebody to go and report back on legislative items. And, I mean, I don't even see why we have to have a lobbyist to go to our own delegation to try to get them to go to work for us. That makes no sense to me. They're there to work for us in the first place. Mr. Lorraine.
First of all, let's talk about the garbage, since you brought it up.
I did.
It was passed in 1986. There was a 7/10 rollback in 97. And it's 20 years that people have been enjoying it. You don't want to come up with anything at the end of the year? You're the chairman. You should be coming up with something. You come up with very little for a leader, I can tell you that. And you can grin all you want. I'm just going to tell you how I feel. We got a contract with them garbage people. We got to come up with the money. And at the end of the year, you're not going to have the money. So where are you going to find it?
From the BP fund that's sitting there doing nothing, sir.
How are you going to bring it up? How are you going to bring it up? You can't. There's only one person that can bring a supplemental, and that's the parish president. And
There
we
you
took
go,
the
sir.
$1 million
BP
out of
funds,
it.
bring it up whenever you're ready to not tax the people and pay for their garbage
Wait a
pickup.
minute. I think that we had an opportunity to put $1 million in there, and we pulled it out. So I don't think he's there to play games. If we pulled it out, you think he's going to put it back? He's the only one that can do it. You can't do it. I can't do it, and not a council member on this council can do it.
All right.
I think you need to
Mr. Bourgeois,
sharpen
you
up.
got something?
Wait. You're not going to run me out, because I'll interrupt you every chance I get if you think you're going to run me off. Okay? And I think it was a big mistake.
Point of order.
I think it was a big mistake that what we did. I got to agree with Mike. I think this was more or less, this was all set up prior to this meeting. Anybody that sees this meeting can see that that was a railroad job, and it's a shame. Because you know what you're going to get now, Mr. Corey? I want you to go to Baton Rouge and see what you can get. Probably very little. They probably won't even want to see you.
Are you done yet?
Mr. Chairman, we don't need to attack each other. I'm just asking a point-blank question. I think we need the lady. We don't need to get in fistfights. I think there's too much fist-fighting going on, and when you're in a fist-fight, you don't see what's going on around you. I'm just saying, I think we could have used the lady. She's right to vote against it, and I just want to ask administration to look for a solution, because we're at a crossroads right now, and we're going to need some help. You know, I emailed on behalf of Ms. Lucy and Mr. Jerry, D. Richard, about a project that kind of borders our area. I got back from a couple people that, look, it's going to be tough to get any kind of money right now, but I just want it to be earmarked to maybe seed this project in my district that helps us all out. It's going to be hard. It's going to be even harder if we have nobody up there, no voice. I'm not mentioning any names, but I understand the last parish president, that was something she was very good at. I think Mr. Cantrell is very good at contractor issues and working with Public Works and getting things done in that way. I don't think that's his forte. I don't think he ran on that. And I appreciated the help we had from Ms. Ray, and I would appreciate somebody would just call me tomorrow and let me know why they voted against it.
Fiscal responsibility, that's why I voted against it. Mr. Bourgeois.
I just want to echo what Mr. Groh and Mr. Lorraine said. We need a lobbyist. I mean, it's imperative that Lafourche Parish have a lobbyist in Baton Rouge. If you don't like Ms. Ray, that's your prerogative. But we need a lobbyist. I have friends in the Army Reserve and National Guard that are legislators that represent other areas of the state and all of that. The people that get things done are the people that have lobbyists that represent their parish, look for their specific needs. They kind of negotiate, they broker things. We need a lobbyist, and if you don't like Ms. Ray, that's fine. That's everybody's that, but we do need a lobbyist. Thank you.
Mr. LaFont.
I don't agree with lobbyists. Never liked lobbyists. Don't agree with the method of it. I think people are elected. You don't see people coming lobbying to us to vote for something. I don't agree with lobbyists. That's why I voted against it. Another reason I voted against it is I don't think her values and my values are the same level. Everybody she supported and throughout the last couple of years in campaigns is people I didn't agree with their message. So I don't want somebody representing me, but I look at it, one thing that really bothered me, and I'm going to use an analogy. She's working for Terrebonne Parish. They got a lot of money, and I know we stuck together. We do a lot of things together. But if I own Coca-Cola, and Terrebonne Parish is Pepsi, and she's working for Pepsi, and I gotta go to Walmart to fight for shelf space, who she's fighting more for, Pepsi or Coca-Cola? It's hard to fight and be equal on one, and she said she would be. But you know what? I know as nature and a human being nature, it's hard to be that way. So, first of all, I don't agree with lobbyists. Never liked lobbyists. I think they ought to ban lobbyists. You know what? We got a delegation. We got a lot of delegation. Those guys, I shouldn't have to lobby to fight for what Lafourche Parish needs. I really don't think we should have to. So that's my reason for not voting for it.
Mr. Chairman?
Go ahead,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Grove.
I appreciate anybody's opinion, but I mean, that's the way the game's played. And I don't think she's just lobbying our delegation. She's lobbying the governor and other people up there. You know, that's my thing. I mean, if you don't agree with the way the game's played, it's the way it is. And I'm sorry it is that way, but I just want somebody fighting for us. So if we don't have her, let's get another reason, or another person, I'm sorry.
You know, we got 9 lobbyists right here, 10. I called delegation. I don't know, Beryl Amadi, in my 5 years here, she's one of the few people that's come to this meeting and given us a report. I call her on a regular basis and discuss her. I talked to Truck. I talked to Norby. I talked to the people in my district. You know, we need to start giving our district representatives more calls, inviting them here.
Any more discussion? Being none, before we move to adjournment. What? Thank you. You make a motion for unanimous? All right, and second by Mr. Jones. All in favor going to unanimous? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Section A, resolutions. Number 1, resolution requesting the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development, LADOTD, to repaint the road striping where needed along Highway 308 from the northernmost parish line of Lafourche Parish to the southernmost parish line of Lafourche Parish, and to also place reflectors along Highway 308 as needed per state regulations. Moved by Mr. Lafont. Second by Mr. Otey. Any discussion?
The reason I'm asking for this is I've been getting a lot of phone calls on 308 when it's raining. You can't see the lines, and it's hard for especially elderly people. So I'd ask for unanimous on that.
I asked for something from Department of Transportation a while back. I mean, how long is it going to take for this? It takes years? I mean, okay.
All right. Do we have a unanimous second? Yes. 9-0. Item 2, resolution requesting the Lafourche Parish District Attorney to revisit District Attorney Opinion Number 17-004 attached, issued on February 7th, 2017, as it pertains to the appointment of interims. Moved by Mr. Jones. Second by Ms. Esposito. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 3, resolution requesting the Lafourche Parish District Attorney to render an opinion as to whether the Lafourche Parish Council can abolish executive branch departments as per the language contained within the Lafourche Parish Home Rule Charter, Article 3, Section 3D1, which states in part as follows: the council by ordinance may alter, merge, consolidate, or abolish any department created by it. Moved by Mr. Lafont, second by Ms. Esposito. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 4, resolution approving a memorandum of understanding between Lafourche Parish Government, the Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office, and LaSalle Correctional Center for the housing, care, custody, and transportation of Lafourche Parish Detention Center inmates on an as-needed basis, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said memorandum of understanding and any all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Groh, second by Mr. Jones. Any discussion? Mine says, the LaSalle Correctional Center. And what does yours say?
I was one ahead, I'm sorry.
Okay. All in favor? Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Item 5, Bo. Resolution approving a memorandum of understanding between Lafourche Parish Government, the Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office, and Catahoula Correctional Center for the housing, care, custody, and transportation of Lafourche Parish Detention Center inmates on an as-needed basis, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said memorandum of understanding and any and all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Grow, second by Mr. Jones. Any discussion? Be it none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Item number 6, resolution approving a cooperative endeavor agreement between Lafourche Parish Government and South Lafourche Levy District regarding emergency repairs and the transfer assignment of right-of-way servitudes pertaining to the Yankee Canal Levy, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any and all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Lorraine, second by Mr. LaFont. Any discussion? Mr. Otam.
I know we discussed this already, Daniel, and I thought that it was all awaiting, Mr. Jimmy getting approval from the DA that it was okay. Has that been done? Is that what we're waiting on?
All right, all in favor? Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Motion to move back to regular agenda. Moved by Mr. Jones, second by Mr. Melvin. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Can I get a motion to adjourn? Moved by Mr. LaFont, second by Bourgeois. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. I'm glad to get this one over with, y'all. Adjourn at 7:18 p.m.